We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
What it do, you number one podcast listeners? We're back with a brand new episode of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. I'm your host, Premal Bhatt, and I am joined by my big bro, my big cousin, Roshan. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. You already know we're back at it again.
Yeah, we wanted to end this 2023 right.
Yep.
And give you guys a podcast to listen over the holidays. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you just telling your family you got something to do to give yourself a break. But here we are.
Maybe you missed us. Maybe you missed us.
That too. That's a given, I think.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate you, number one podcast listeners. And without further ado, let's get going on this edition.
You already know.
But before we do, word from our sponsor. This episode of the Prem Brulee podcast is sponsored by Sleep Adel, a content creator, photographer, and artist based in Asbury Park, New Jersey. From cinematic stills, unique and classic wedding and elopement photos, even product or commercial photography like you see for the Prem Brulee brand. Sleep Adel is a full-service studio. And check out their new short, Showtime, available on YouTube. Also, go check out his Instagram. He's doing an opportunity for comics and you in the Instagram captions to win some money if your idea gets used. Promise you won't be disappointed. Give it a look at SLEEPATTLE on Instagram. And while you're at it, give them a follow. You already know, the number one artist for the number one podcast in your headphones. Per usual, baby.
Only the best for the number one podcast listeners.
You already know. And that's a nice segue into Yeah, Fam or Nah. So let's get going on our word association version. You'll only hear me talk to catch you number one podcast listeners up on the description of what we're talking about. But we keep it short and sweet so we can get to the section you all are waiting for. You played yourself. First up, you and I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Chargers firing their head coach Brandon Staley and their GM Tom Telesco. This happened after their Thursday Night Football loss to the Las Vegas Raiders in historic fashion. They lost 63-21. Staley leaves LA with a 24-24 record, 2 winning seasons, 1 playoff berth that ended in that historic collapse where they were up on the Jags, and the Jags came back in the second half pretty famously last year. Telesco was the architect of the Chargers roster. He was let go amid his 11th season with the club. He was hired back in 2013 and was responsible for drafting some notable players like Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, and of course Justin Herbert. During his tenure as GM, LA went 84-92 in the regular season and 2-3 in the playoffs. Yeah, fam or nah? And you got a word or phrase for this, Rosh?
I don't know why we always end up here, but I'll go back to a quote that my good friend LeBron James said once. It's about damn time.
It's about damn time.
Staley was terrible. I feel like every Chargers game I ended up watching, he was not very, he wasn't in tune with the game. He was always out of touch. He seemed like he was playing a different game than the players were playing, and then he was the opposite of situational football. And I've never seen a team this talented for so long be this mediocre for that long. They cannot let 2 franchise QBs go to waste. Phillip Rivers saw an entire career go by with nothing, man. And it would suck to see that happen to Herbert, too.
Yeah, I think my phrase for this is hottest job opening.
Yes.
Hottest job opening in the NFL. I think coaches are going to be lining up for this position. But like you said, this franchise has been underperforming, so I get why they made the move. There's a lot of talent on that roster to be that bad. So and I want to preemptively say, like, I do think Justin Herbert needs to step his shit up. We can't consider you one of the best quarterbacks in the league if you have nothing to show for it.
Right.
So sure, Phillip Rivers doesn't have rings, but he passed the eye test. Like, your team's got to be doing better than this.
Yeah.
Let's move on. You know, we had to cover this. The big news. Shohei Ohtani signs with the Los Angeles Dodgers a whopping 10-year, $700 million contract. So, before I get your yes, or nah, we're going to do a yes or nah to his decision, a yes or nah to how he conducted his free agency. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how he deferred 680 of his $700 million of his contract for after the duration of his 10 years with the Dodgers. So he'll be paid out that $680 million without interest between the years 2034 and 2043. Yeah, or nah to this being allowed. So I got three-parter. Yeah, or nah to his decision. The way he went about conducting his free agency, he threatened anyone that would leak information of his meetings. He would factor into his decision, essentially threaten not signing with the team if their insiders reported that he was meeting with them. And his contract deferment of $680 million, should that be allowed, he is Bobby Bonilla-ing it to the max.
Yeah.
Bobby Bonilla has been getting paid $1 million every year for a huge contract with the Mets. This would be $680 million over 10 years after he's done with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
All right. First one, yeah, fam or not to the decision. Yeah, fam, that was the worst kept secret in anywhere. There's no way. One, I never thought he would ever move from LA. Going to the Dodgers is the right choice. He's going to print money while he's there. So, everyone knew it. They had been clearing space for so long, blah, blah, blah. The way he conducted his free agency, nah, fam. Everyone knew that shit was happening. Why even entertain all this shit? Why hold up the entire quote-unquote hot stove? Just fucking sign it. He should have signed the day free agency opened. Everyone knew it. I don't know why we had to drag that shit out.
Totally agree.
And the deferment, like one phrase, tax evasion. I mean,
so perfect.
I used to like Ohtani, but if I got to pay taxes on my not $70 million a year salary, so should he. I'm going to start the campaign. Hashtag deport Ohtani. It's going to start today. I don't want to see Ohtani win that much, man. It's a great fit. He's going to be awesome there. He's an electric player. It's going to be sick. I hate that it's the Dodgers.
Yeah. So I pretty much agree with you across the board. I'm a nod at a decision. What a boring pick.
Yeah. That's
Damn,
fair.
all that money just to join a team that'll lose in October repeatedly.
Hey-o.
Couldn't be me.
Eddie alert.
They might win 2 games in the NLDS this year.
Maybe so. Hopefully they don't play a division foe. Couldn't agree with you more about how he conducted free agency, especially you hit the nail on it, holding up the rest of the free agents. There's no doubt he's going to get his money, so why did it take him so long? And the whole, like, threatening media, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know you secretly like the fanfare. Like, come on. So, yeah, I don't like that he's able to defer money. I mean, it's within the rules. There's no rule against it. So it's smart on him, but teams should not be able to do this. And at the very least, it should count for any like luxury tax or numbers they're thinking. I don't think, I mean, because essentially the Dodgers are going to get a break and be able to sign people for this 10 years.
Yep.
Now, 10 years after that, they might be shit out of luck, but it'd be worth it if you win titles. So anyway, I don't.
Yeah. That's the likelihood. Adding Ohtani to a team that wins 100+ games every year, if they don't win, it's gonna be pretty awful to watch. I think the worst thing about the deferment to me, just like real quick, is just it's the whatever it counts, the AAV against the tax. I saw the numbers and it's like it's equivalent to $46 million a year. How if it's $70 million a year? Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. That is bullshit. It should not work that way. Reverse shout out to the CBT that allowed that. So or the CBA rather. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fine if you want to work out how you pay him and how he chooses to.
Yeah.
It should still count for 7
For sure.
10 years. Anyway. Yeah, pretty much agree across the board, but you know what time it is, you number one podcast listeners. You know why you tuned in. Let's hit that You Played Yourself intro.
I'm petty as hell. And I'm super petty. Here we petty Le Pew.
All right, number one podcast listeners. First up on You Played Yourself. This was very necessary. It's been bothering the fuck out of me. I can't imagine you as a Texans fan. I'm not a Texans fan, but it bothers the hell out of me. The Tennessee Titans wearing Oilers throwback uniforms. Listen, I do not care that the Houston franchise moved there. They didn't want their owner there at the time. It's not like they didn't want a football team altogether. The franchise in Tennessee loved the name so much, by the way, that they changed it the first chance they got. And I specifically want to mention dick riding Titans fans who are sticking up for the team using the uniform as if they get paid or like the team needs defending for their actions.
Yeah.
You weren't an Oilers fan back in the day of Houston, so why do we give a fuck what you think about it? Like, I know the obvious statements you're going to say. It's just bozo material for you to think people want to see the team in Tennessee wearing Oilers throwbacks as if that's where the history happened.
Yeah.
No, the fuck it did not. You changed your name to the Titans. That shit should go back to Houston or not live in Tennessee. It shouldn't. That's not where the history happened. So you played yourself. The Titans wore them against the Texans. Clearly a troll job. I'm glad they fucking lost. They lost to Case Keenum.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud wasn't playing. Nico Collins wasn't playing. You deserve to lose. Derrick Henry got no yards. You can think those uniforms are fire, but they're not your uniforms to think that about. So, what you got for this?
Yeah.
Your Texans fans' perspective.
Yeah, man. Pretty much everyone in Houston is consensus. Go fuck yourself about that. You don't see Baltimore rocking the Colts jerseys. You don't cut this shit out. NFL like that. This is very. It's so egregious. It doesn't even matter. I don't understand why they have to make a big fuss about Tennessee having it, and then it's almost like the NFL media and social media is like playing it up. They're like stirring the pot even against Houston fans, and I'm like, this seems like fucking bullshit. And yeah, like you said, imagine doing all that trolling and specifically wearing those uniforms against Houston and losing to a 35-year-old Case Keenum, and 5 of our 6 players were riding pine.
Congratulations.
It's stupid.
You played yourself.
The Houston admin got a few laughs out of it though on the timeline on Instagram and Twitter. They were clowning Titans pretty good, so that was pretty nice. Yeah.
Look, I stay petty, so I don't have to get petty.
Okay. And for the record, I think most people seem to agree. Like, you can objectively think the uniforms are fire and also think Tennessee should not wear them. Like, give that property back to Houston.
Yeah.
It's been worked out before. The Browns kept their material in Cleveland when Art Modell moved the franchise to Baltimore and became the Ravens. Worked it out with the Colts, like you mentioned. It's been done before. It's not their history. Nothing happened in Tennessee of note. If you want to claim a little bit of Steve McNair in an Oilers uniform and Eddie George in it, fine, but you're mostly claiming them because there were Titans there.
Yeah.
They moved. So, anyway, preaching to the choir. Let's move over to the NBA. You and I texted about this, and that's what got us to fire up the pod, along with the Chargers firing. But this game ball scuffle between Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Indiana Pacers recently. So for you number one podcast listeners that didn't catch it, I'm sure you did on social media or something, but Giannis, all of a sudden when the game between the Bucks and Pacers ended, started charging the tunnel for the Pacers locker room after the game was over. Giannis had set a Bucks franchise record with 60 points. What came to be is that Giannis wanted the game ball, and the Pacers reportedly took the game ball because one of their rookies, Oscar Tshiebwe scored his first NBA points. So it's pretty standard. You get the game ball for your first NBA points, display it in your house, whatever. Great. So Giannis got all dramatic, chased after the Pacers locker room. Nothing really came of it, thankfully, because that would have been bad for his brand or whatever. He stood in the press conference after complaining, I got some game ball, it doesn't feel like the real one. By the way, I didn't get the one from the NBA Finals Game 6. Like, okay, boo-hoo. You played yourself. But I want to get your take on this.
Yeah, Giannis, I feel like is becoming a frequent flyer here, and you played yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, this is probably like third or fourth time he's been in here. So yeah, I mean, come on, man, Giannis, tighten it up, bro. But yeah, my thoughts. A rookie's first points are far more important than his Mickey Mouse restricted area masterclass. Like, who gives a fuck, man? You dunked 30 times. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
You're 6'11" with a 500-foot wingspan. It's not impressive. Who gives a shit? Stop fucking crying. No, Giannis, no.
Will Chamberlain dunking on plumbers
Yeah,
in the
man.
NBA back in the day.
Giannis, no bag of Kumpo was going a little way too hard for the least impressive 60-point game in NBA history. Just cut it out, bro. Like, you can't give it up to a rookie. Like, you have a $200+ million contract, and you're throwing a fucking tantrum about a ball. Come on,
you
bro.
didn't set the NBA record.
Cut the shit, man. It's so goofy.
Dude charged that locker room like someone said, fuck Greece.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, he was going so hard. And he was like poking Halliburton's chest and all this stuff. I was like, dude, he's just, please relax.
So dramatic.
Yeah.
It's a game ball, sir.
Yeah. And then they followed it up and said that the ball that they ended up giving the Pacers wasn't actually the game ball after all. So he did all that for nothing. And he had the right one. And then he was still in the presser complaining or crying. So I'm like, dude, why? It really isn't that deep.
They have these things where every game you play in is televised, so you can just get probably a copy of the game.
Yeah.
And have a whole display of it.
Yes.
I wanted to check back in with some college football. We're going to talk a little bit about it because obviously the college football playoffs coming up. But the college football awards happened, and Iowa, you played yourself for the most famous award. And my You Played Yourself is for Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman Trophy this year. And before you start, no, I don't think it should be Marvin Harrison Jr. as much as I would love that. I believe it should have been Michael Penix Jr., Washington's quarterback. But back to the You Played Yourself. Daniels did lead the nation in total offense this season. He passed for a whopping 3,800 yards and 40 touchdowns to go with over 1,100 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns on the ground. The stats certainly check out. But here's the thing. LSU lost 3 games. They did not play a consequential game past the month of September. Last I checked, that's the first month of the season. I don't think you can be the country's most outstanding player if your team didn't have anything to show for it after. And if that's the case, speaking of the aforementioned, I think Case Keenum and R.I.P. Colt Brennan, former Hawaii quarterback, are owed some Heisman trophies, if that's what we're basing it off of. Oh, and the big news of this week was that, surprise, surprise, Jaden Daniels is sitting out their bowl game. Do you want to take a guess at what bowl game they're at? Like,
I couldn't guess even if I tried.
I could give you a million guesses. He's sitting out their Relia Quest Bowl versus Wisconsin.
Awesome.
Yeah, you heard that right. Oh my gosh. Who would have thought he was going to play in that consequential bowl game versus the Fighting Luke Fickles, who stunk it up this year in the Big Ten too? Yeah. You think a Heisman Trophy winner should have the really tough decision of sitting out a Relia Quest Bowl? Is that your Heisman Trophy? Nah, man, that couldn't be fucking me. I said this from the start. Fine, if you want to invite him, that's great. But he should not be the Heisman Trophy winner this year. Absolutely not. 3 losses. Your team was never in contention to go to the SEC championship. Nothing consequential past September. 3 losses, unacceptable. I don't care how bad your defense is or the team is around you. Your team should be better if you really were that outstanding. So you played yourself. To those voters out there, I think it should have been Michael Penix.
Yeah, and that's one award that I feel like they typically get right. It's hard to argue with so many Heisman winners of years past. You could make a case for them even if it was a toss-up between 2-3 people. You could always make a great case for the winner, and they never give it to someone who is in the Reliquest Bowl. Like you said, I mean, I had to look it up. I had to look up what Reliquest even is. For your information, everybody, it's a cybersecurity company, and I can guarantee you that Google search that I just completed to find out that information was way more riveting than that game will be.
Petty alert! Petty alert! Petty alert!
Can confirm.
Yeah.
If you've seen
Ain't nobody
Wisconsin
watching
play
that
this year,
shit.
by the way,
Yeah, nobody watching that shit.
Anyway, you played yourself to that. Okay. Sticking in the college football area, ESPN did a whole football schedule reveal for the SEC on their main network. 2 fucking hours to reveal a schedule. The 2024 SEC football schedule. They're not even trying to hide the bias at this point. I mean, totally crazy. I've never seen anything like that. They tried to make a whole spectacle of it. Couldn't believe it.
So what'd they do? Just run down every team's schedule?
Yeah, so the reason they did it, which if you're going to build something out for it, it's fine. 2 whole hours to discuss it is just
That's
asinine.
insanity, yeah.
Basically, the way the TV contracts are going, ESPN's getting exclusive rights to the SEC. So what usually happens is game times are not announced until like the week or 2 weeks before a game. Well, now that ESPN has all the games, they could decide the game times because they had nobody to fight with for the rights, because they used to have to fight with CBS and all these other networks. So they could release all the times and therefore release the schedule. Okay, but 2 fucking hours? 2 hours. Like, we're really giving the whole conference the treatment. A conference that includes teams like Mississippi State, South Carolina, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, baby.
Like,
yeah. Fucking awesome.
Gives a flying fuck about that?
Yeah.
In December of the previous year.
Right.
Give me a break, man. Give me a fucking break. Slow day on the, quote, worldwide leader. But anyway. Okay, before we get back to the college football playoff, we had to talk about a You Played Yourself Hall of Fame member. He's on here all the time. Literally, the last time you and I spoke, he was on there for choking out Rudy Gobert, and he finds himself back on You Played Yourself. Not even... Technically, it's the next episode, because our previous episode was an emergency podcast with me and Vish about Ohio State.
That's true.
So he survived not even an episode, and he's back on here.
That's incredible.
Draymond, the Woat Green, he is back at it. This dude swung and connected on a flailing punch on Yusuf Nurkic. He was suspended indefinitely by the NBA. The unfortunate part is, we make a lot of fun of him, but I think he actually might need anger management help. It's clear that I think his agent, Rich Paul, released a statement that he's getting some sort of help. I don't know what that is exactly. He seriously can't help it at this point, because if he could put logic behind it, he'd know he's hurting his team by doing all this.
Yeah.
But here he is again. So, unfortunately, it is You Played Yourself. I hope something good comes of it, that he can get some help, because these aren't like normal actions. These aren't like, like testosterone flowing. I'm getting in the heat of battle and have a bad moment. It's like, these are calculated, like to go and choke someone and then you don't accidentally connect with someone's face. Doesn't usually happen. So anyway, you got something to add?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk for like 45 minutes on Draymond alone, but like, in the presser afterwards, he said, "I don't usually apologize, but I'm gonna apologize." He's like, I swing my arms around because I like to sell calls. It's like, dude, you seriously look like you're watching a hardcore band. Like you're literally throwing your fist back. Like, what the
These are the videos you send me.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this is not normal. This is not how you move your body. Like, there's a huge difference between someone like Pat Bev, who's pretty much universally known as a dirty player, and then Draymond Green. There's truly levels to this shit, man. But I would like to thank Draymond. Against my and this podcast's better judgment, we did. I said this last time too. We tried to sweeten up on his bitch ass. Do you remember this? Yeah. We tried to sweeten up. He was saying some good stuff. He was like, he clowned Dylan Brooks, and we're like, this was funny, man. Like, all right, cool. Draymond's trying to be likable. Only to find he's gotten 10 times worse since that moment. He's tried to murder Rudy Gobert. He open field tackled Terrence Mann in the middle of a game. And he slam danced on Nurkic. That's just the past month, man.
I wasn't ready for slam dance.
but like, again, this is a perfect, valuable lesson for both of us. Never change your opinion. Never backpedal. Tripling and quadrupling down. It's just not enough sometimes. You know, sometimes you might need a quintuple down. You might need a septuple down, and a dectuple down. You know, that's a 5, 7, and a 10. I had to look those up for
Great job.
Dectuple, man.
Yeah, you know, we kind of did play ourselves. Like, that's not our style. It's not.
No, why did we do that?
It's not the bot brand. Like,
it's really not.
We played ourselves.
Draymond, I would actually like to offer you permanent vacation here, and you played yourself, because I guarantee you will be back here before the season's over, at least twice.
He might be. I saw this. Like, he might be hurting. You know, he's occupied the media space too, and clearly has a plan to get into media after he plays, because he's already started. It's got to be impacting that too,
for sure,
because all of a sudden, like, obviously most of his actions are, he can't separate what's going on the court, so hopefully that wouldn't be the case. But brands don't exactly want to partner with someone who acts like this either, so
for sure.
Anyway, hopefully he gets the help he needs. But we won't soften up on him on You Played Yourself anymore.
We sure won't, J1.
Yeah.
See you later in this section.
Before I get to a few that you had on You Played Yourself, I wanted to quickly talk about the college football playoff, and we are going to make our picks in Who You Got later. So I know you're a big college football guy outside of Ohio State, so get pumped for that.
You already know.
The college football playoff, obviously everybody knows the matchups by now. Michigan's going to play Alabama. That's the 1 versus 4 matchup. And number 2 Washington is going to play number 3 Texas. Famously, and for the first time ever, a Power 5 champion, undefeated, was left out of the college football playoff. That's Florida State. We all know by now Florida State lost their, who probably would have been a Heisman finalist, Jordan Travis, at the end of the season. Florida State did manage to win with backup quarterbacks, won their ACC title. Didn't look particularly impressive, but nonetheless finished undefeated, won the ACC, but got moved out of the college football playoff picture and finished at number 5. So there's been a lot of discourse. No doubt it happened right after that selection on Sunday. But I wanted to add in my piece for what it's worth. Hopefully you're not tired of hearing about this, or it's been long enough. But here's my little spiel about why this is on You Played Yourself. The thing is, the committee got the best 4 teams. And that was the whole point of this 4-team playoff. Obviously, this is the last year of the 4-team playoff, but they've been saying for years they want to get the 4 best teams. But what they did this year, this final year of the 4-team playoff, there was no precedent for. They've said it's the best 4 teams, but they haven't acted on that. We want to sit there and say, oh, they got it right. But they didn't get it right against our own history. Here's what the committee did prove. It doesn't matter if you do everything they say you should do and everything that they've proven works to get you into the college football playoff. The bottom line is, if you have an injury you won't get in. That's what they told everybody. And to question that even further, if they were really, really emphasizing that injury, how on earth does Florida State, if they really are not one of the best teams, how did they finish ranked ahead of Georgia, Ohio State, even Oregon after their quarterback Jordan Travis's injury? If you're really standing on that hill to say it's the best 4 teams, and we're judging it off all the circumstances, then how did their team finish at 5? Or are you using different criteria all of a sudden? Sounds like bullshit. What a famously controversial way to end this 4-team playoff era of college football. It's so unfortunate for Florida State fans. I think they should have gotten in over Alabama. I don't think there was any reason to argue Alabama being in. Nobody would have disagreed with it. Alabama barely survived against a 500 Auburn team. It took a 4th and 20-plus yard conversion on 4th and goal for them to beat their rival Auburn on the second to last week. They almost lost to USF. Yes, that's South Florida. And they lost at home to one of the other playoff teams in Texas. It's so easy to validate leaving them out. Sure, they're the SEC champion, but they had one loss already, and they didn't look particularly impressive in a fair amount of other games. So we want to punish one team, but not the other. And it plays into this whole SEC bias narrative.
For sure.
This was the year to leave out an SEC team, I think, especially with Georgia losing the SEC championship to Alabama. It's so unfortunate for Florida State. So, I mean, you played yourself. You want to claim they got the best 4 teams, that's fine, but they had no precedent for doing it this way, and they screwed over a Power 5 champ. What they told them is that the body of work didn't matter, like they've said for years has. So,
yeah.
That's my little spiel before we pick those games later. Anyway, you got a few you played yourselves for us, Roche?
I do, man. Quick you played yourself goes to the New York Yankees. Not for anything you'd think. I want to put the Yankees facial hair policy and overall hygiene policy, and you played yourself. Recent photos, they made a trade for Alex Verdugo. Pretty not like super popular guy, but he's well known enough if you're a baseball fan. He rocks the beard, full beard, and wears grills. Pretty cool looking dude. He's got a definite swagger. And I saw photos surfaced of his like newly freshly shaven face. I gotta say, man, it feels wrong. I thought Garrett Cole was bad. I thought if you rewind time and we're a little older, if you remember Johnny Damon, do you remember when he signed? That was I just remember being like, what? Who the fuck is this guy? Alex Verdugo might be the caveman. But Alex Verdugo might be the worst one yet. He just looks like he's a bully on like High School Musical or something. It's totally weird. Y'all gotta drop this policy, man. Let these dudes have beards. I don't know what the big deal is. You guys aren't even winning games anymore, so let people look cool. Let them do what they want. When you pack on a few face pounds, you need that beard to help you look good and stay tight, keep it tight. Why are we hating on this, Yankees? Get the promotions from Norelco and Phillips. Let's get it going, bro. All right, my next you played yourself goes to one of our favorites, Anthony Davis, or as we like to call him when he's in the section, Tony Davis. However, this specifically goes for the Tony Davis graduation. What do I mean by this? I mean that he's putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers in every Mickey Mouse tournament possible. This man was lights out in the in-season tournament. He was dropping like 40-20 games. Every single game, 35 points. He was on a tear. I was like, dude, I need this version of Tony Davis to show up in the playoffs. I need this motherfucker to tape that Kleenex hamstring up. I need to tape it tight for a finals run. There's really no team standing in the Lakers' way, in my opinion, except the Nuggets. This is more than likely LeBron's true last shot. I just don't see it happening. I also think Bronny's going to get to the league, and LeBron's going where Bronny's going.
Yeah.
So, and chances are, if people are drafting Bronny, that team's going to suck. So,
Yeah.
and it might not be next year, but it might be like one further year. Who knows? Like, LeBron's at an insane pace right now. But this is a really good Lakers team. I need Tony Davis to step it up, bro.
Whatever you got to do, convince him you're in the bubble, or
Yeah. Put him in a
Vegas, I don't
bubble.
know.
I need Bubble Davis, bro.
By the way, you played yourself for the Lakers for putting up a in-season tournament banner?
Absolutely.
How do we
man.
feel about
Absolutely.
feels weird.
You got 500K. That's great. You do not need a banner for this, man. I'm firmly convinced that this is like, there's all these things that popped up on Twitter. Like Kobe was like, we don't hang division banners. We don't hang that. And I mean, he's right. They never used to do that. This definitely feels like an Adam Silver kind of like nudge.
Yeah,
like, hey
that's
man,
what I'm wondering.
please hang this banner. Make this seem more important. I know LeBron was in the news and media being like, this tournament idea is a great idea. Blah blah blah. Adam Silver really cooked with this, so he did what he had to. We don't need a banner for this. It's just there's too many memes available for this, and we don't need all that.
Yeah, they already. You don't want like what the Colts do, where they have a banner for AFC finalists.
AFC finalists, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if
that's
the
what I was
Pacers
thinking.
won. Imagine if the Pacers won, and if they hung that banner, they would be clowned
They'd be
relentlessly.
clowned, yeah, at least
We
the
gotta
Lakers
keep-
have other banners up there.
We got to
so-
keep the same energy, man. Yeah.
I wonder if you're right. That's why I asked the question. Like, it feels like it was a NBA kind of like nudge, like help us continue making this
A thing, yeah.
feel serious. And they already did. Like, it was a huge success. Tons of eyes on the games.
Yeah.
The money was a great hit. Like, players were motivated in it.
Yeah.
So I think that was their victory, but hopefully that doesn't make it seem corny. Okay. We like to mix in our non-sports you played yourselves just to put a bow on it. So, I'll go ahead and go first, and then I'll get yours. My non-sports you played yourself always kind of happens around this year. I fight this battle every year. Y'all folks with the white holiday lights. I got a you played yourself for you, and your boring asses. Listen, y'all are really bringing trees inside houses, decorating the inside and outside of your houses all gaudy, and you're trying to be classy with white lights. Give me a break. Y'all are not fooling anyone. You're just boring. Just keep it fucking all the way real. White lights, boring. If you're going to be that boring, just why even put up the lights? Why even let your light bill go up for a whole month? Like, you can purely state you're boring without having anything.
This
anyway,
is a very specific attack. So just to confirm, you are not dreaming of a white Christmas, correct?
Correct.
You need the colors. You need the blues and the greens and the.
At least make it fun, man.
Oh, that's fair.
That's the whole point.
I like that.
Could you imagine a kid growing up in one of those boring ass houses where it's like, it feels like, I don't know, one of those movies where people don't look like they live there? It's like, is that the whole angle of it? It doesn't even feel cozy. It feels like cold. Anyway, what you got for you played yourself?
Mine's kind of particular. Maybe it's like a little regional. I read an article that Austin, Texas, the city I live in, was named the only city by whatever metrics they did. It was named the only city to become more affordable in 2023.
Wow. Great news for you, right? Did your rent go down?
No, you would think, oh, my rent went down. No, my rent went up $250 fucking dollars.
Congratulations.
What Austin are these guys talking about? Because we went to dinner. My girlfriend and I went to dinner the other day to celebrate her birthday. A couple rounds of drinks, some appetizer, blah blah. $175. I don't know what I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. This shit is not cheap over here. They're lying to you. Do not move here. That is my biggest you played yourself. Do not move here. Do not drive my rent up. And then I guess maybe this might be a little bit of a cancel take anyway, but Kanye, you played yourself? Yet another release date announced, yet another album not dropped on that release date. You gotta stop doing that.
Kind of you played yourself if you fell for that. There's not...
That's fair.
I'm at this point, since CDs were a thing, that dude has not put out a record on time. So
that's a good point.
It's kind of... I don't know how he keeps fooling people.
Yeah.
It's like that old Jesse Pinkman. He can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
He can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, I agree with you. Maybe we'll get it before the new year. We won't.
We won't.
All right. New segment that's not that new anymore. Am I hating? Remember, you number one podcast listeners, if you have an idea of an intro for this, we're all ears. So bring it our way. We'll give you credit. You can drop a tag at the end. It'll be featured for a long time to come. Anyway, our segment, Am I Hating?, where we say statements that are most likely clearly a hating, but this is a safe space, so we drop them anyway. You want me to go first again? All right, let's do me first. Okay, Rosh, keeping with the holiday theme, am I hating if I do not get the love for Christmas music? Most of it is so sleepy. Honestly, like, I'm thinking I might be a Scrooge about like decorations and music, but the music especially. I know I had a hot take about the lights, but it's more about like if you're gonna do the lights, might as well make it obvious you're putting up lights. But the music, I can't get like. Of course, there's a few songs that find their way in, but that I like, but I can't get with the music. You with me? Am I hating or?
I am 100% with you, but I will say you're underrating the fact your skin color is a little brown. Me and you are brown guys. Maybe Christmas just isn't our thing. Maybe we weren't meant to be involved in Christmas that much. So we got to think about it that way.
We weren't the demographic.
Y'all got to cut us some slack. Yeah. So if y'all are mad that a couple of brown boys are hating on Christmas music, sorry, I can't help you. I don't like that shit either. Silent Night, I don't give a shit about that shit. I don't ever want to hear those songs. And they start them way too early. You're in your grocery stores, your Kroger or your HEB or whatever you got in your area, and I swear, man, every year it's been starting like November 1st or October 31st.
I was getting ready to say, I'm like, as soon as Halloween ends,
they gotta stop that.
Yeah. People are trying to fall asleep just doing regular things, man.
Yeah, you start seeing those poinsettias in the doorways of the grocery stores, and I'm like, it's happening. We got to get out of that.
We might be hating, but yeah, if you're mad at two brown boys for hating on Christmas music,
from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Let's go. The double browns do what the fuck they want.
Now the unfortunate news, it is very cute, but Barrett has really taken a liking to Christmas music, so now, unfortunately for me, and maybe some of you number one podcast listeners revel in this, but I have to kind of fake it and pretend I love it so that he will cutely sing along his own versions of these, so can't ruin it for him. I'm not that much of a Scrooge, so
the Premal Santa cosplay is dropping soon. That Santa cosplay is just within 2 years away, man. I just know it. I can feel it.
Here we go. I'm going to be wearing a Santa suit before you're right.
Hate to see it.
You're absolutely right. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to who you got and what you feeling, Rosh. So, last episode that you and I were on, obviously pre-emergency episode with Vish, which if you haven't heard that one yet, go listen to it. It's very therapeutic, and still a lot of it pertains to especially Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
Maybe fans of other teams can commiserate or enjoy our misery. So that's the plug for that one. Anyway, you and I talked about some surprising teams last time you and I spoke. We talked some contenders and pretenders in across the whole scope of the NFL. But Oh, and then we also talked about some dark horse NBA MVP picks, so we'll track that over time as well.
Yeah.
This episode, I wanted to ask you a couple of football-related ones. And first up,
let's hear it.
NFL.
All right.
So we're getting close to playoffs, entering the last few weeks of the regular season. If I were to tell you, for the Super Bowl, you get the San Francisco 49ers or you get the field, who you got?
I'm taking the 49ers, man.
Yeah.
They look nasty.
Yep.
I just, the more time that passes, I think every team has a lot of flaws, and just any way you slice it, you can pick a lot of flaws. There are very few flaws in San Francisco's game.
All right, so I agree with you. They look far and away the best team. I will be very surprised, assuming full health.
Yeah.
Which we always hope for all teams to be fully healthy. Which this year seems especially impacted by health in some key positions, by the way. Okay, I force you not to pick the 49ers. Who has the best chance to beat them?
All right, let's see. The best chance to beat the 49ers. I think it has to be Baltimore.
Okay.
Because they have the defense as a counterpart.
Yeah.
But once again, and a mobile quarterback that kind of is a game plan breaker. If he decides to start slinging it and if he's connecting on these like 20-yard passes, it's going to be hard to beat Lamar. He's too dangerous. And I think that might be the only spot that they got San Francisco beat is the quarterback position. Again, health, huge concern for Baltimore. Their running backs drop like flies over there.
Oh, man.
I don't know
Seems
what...
like the worst luck position in football is running back for the Ravens.
I don't know what it is. Every single year, one of their running backs just catastrophic injury.
Yeah. They had J.K. Dobbins go down week 1.
Yeah.
And then they have a revelation rookie, Keaton Mitchell, and he's been amazing. Non-contact.
Yeah, just
knee
awful.
buckles. Awful. Yeah. I'm gonna go. So I feel the 49ers. I'm gonna go. It's probably prisoner of the moment. But I'm gonna say it's, and I'm gonna listen to myself in the past. Like every year we overthink this.
Yeah.
I just feel like when the playoffs hit, Chiefs are gonna be the biggest chance just because of Mahomes. Now the receivers have to do better.
Yeah.
And my other one, prisoner of the moment, is the Bills. I think if they make the playoffs, I don't think any team in the AFC
wants to see them. Yeah, no one wants to see them.
They sneak in to the 6 or 7 seed. I mean, that's bad news for whoever has to play them.
Yeah, I would hate to see them in the playoffs.
Josh Allen's really damn good. He's mobile and can sling it.
Yeah.
And they have weapons to potentially neutralize.
Healthy weapons,
yeah. So, my dark horse, I'll go with the Bills officially, but I'm not.
I like the Bills.
I'm not counting out the Chiefs yet. Okay. And now I promised this tease, but I want to get your pick for the college football playoffs.
Okay.
Who makes it to the championship and who wins it all? Who you got? So, again, to recap, you number one podcast listeners, Michigan plays Alabama in one semifinal, and Washington and Texas play in the other.
Yeah, I think I just have a hard time even out loud saying that Michigan will win, so I'm going to say Alabama will beat Michigan. And I think I got to roll with UT, man. I'm in Austin right now. I kind of want to see some shit happen, and I kind of want to see UT beat Alabama again in the national championship. That will exercise a lot of demons for that school. They had the famous, CFP, BCS rather, years ago. Colt McCoy, they had to throw Garrett Gilbert out there. I don't know. That was what a year, man. But yeah, and I think UT was way better than Alabama that year. But they had to use Garrett Gilbert, so I think they will exercise a lot of demons. They are a great team as well. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with UT. I don't think they're gonna win, but I'm gonna go ahead and root for them.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, if UT does win, they get to play in Houston,
which would
for
be
the
sick.
title,
Also,
so-
yeah, that'd be cool. Do it if they get to the title game. I think they know what it takes to beat Bama, and I think they're better than Michigan. So, either way, I think it's going to go in their favor. I think the seeding really helped UT a lot.
Yeah.
I think their biggest opponent is probably Washington in front of them, but it's also really hard to beat Saban twice. So we know everyone knows that script.
Yep. So, for what it's worth, for those of you number one podcast listeners keeping track, on January 1st, the first matchup of the day is that Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Alabama. Michigan currently are 2-point favorites in that game, so not that substantial. And then the second one of the night is Washington versus Texas in the Sugar Bowl, and Texas is 4.5-point favorite, so a little bit more.
Yeah.
My picks for the semifinals, you bet your ass I'm not picking Michigan. So
Look, I
got Alabama
petty,
in
so I don't have to
the
get
first
petty.
matchup, and I am going to go with Washington, even though they're not favored. I do think they have a super talented team. Not that Texas doesn't. Texas is loaded across the board.
Yeah.
But something about being the not respected underdog somehow, even though they're undefeated. So I'm going to go with the Washington-Alabama matchup, and I'm going to go with the improbable Washington title.
Love it.
So I believe it'll be their first one. They're the only one without a history of national titles. So
Right. Yeah, you'd love to see that happen.
The others are Blue Bloods. Michael Penix would be a great story. I feel like people are going to largely forget this, but he was quarterback at Indiana University before transferring to Washington.
Yeah.
So he's been tremendous. The Heisman Trophy runner-up. I think he should have been the winner of it, as we talked about earlier. But yeah, the name of the game is anybody but Michigan. So Bama, do your thing.
Petty alert. Petty alert.
And then
Petty alert.
whatever, Okay, let's move on to what you feeling. I'll go ahead and go first and get what you're feeling lately, Roche.
All right.
What I'm feeling is that one team in Columbus actually knows how to win. Our very own Columbus Crew won the MLS Cup. You know, as I always say, you number one podcast listeners, go Crew, go soccer, baby. This is their third title in franchise history. They last won one in 2020, the COVID year. Huge win for the city. They did it in their home stadium. The parade ended up being crazy, just like on a weekday too. People really showed out. What a story. I feel like it could be like a plot of a movie. What was once a team that was almost taken from Columbus, shady previous owner had in his contract to move it actually to Austin.
Yeah.
A legitimate grassroots movement saved the franchise, saved the Crew movement, got new owners here, a new stadium downtown that's beautiful, and here they are winning with a brand new coach, a whole exciting brand of soccer, high scoring, not a lot of defense, very exciting to watch. It's a big moment for the city and a refreshing one at that, to see someone actually win when it matters most. So real cool for the city. Big, as you can tell, I'm a big soccer guy, so go Crew, go soccer. You already know.
Yeah.
But, all jokes aside, it's still huge. We see this degenerate franchise in the NHL who's been largely sorry for their entire 20-plus year existence in the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ohio State's been disappointing the last 3 years, and here come the Crew just taking over the city and winning when it matters most. So you love to see it.
Yes, sir. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What am I feeling? Honestly, I gotta say, going back to our last episode, the thing you said about the GI tracks, mine's holding up, man. We're eating
Poopy
a lot
season,
of food.
you surviving?
Poopy season is going well. We've had birthday dinners, we've had Thanksgiving, the works. So it's like, all right, I'm enjoying the food. You know, you always enjoy the extra desserts here and there.
For sure.
You know, you get back at it in January, so it's always nice to, you know, spend time with your family, friends, whatever it is. Other than that, I will say this might be a surprise to you. The girlfriend and I have bought a movie pass because there was like 3 or 4 movies that we were wanting to see, and then if you know, movie tickets are literally like $15.99 these
they're
days.
ridiculous now. Yeah,
An AMC movie pass was $20, so we've been like going to the theater every week to see a movie to get our money. So we're just gonna do this for a couple months, see all these movies that are coming out, and then like go back to the normal life. But it's pretty cool going back to the theater, enjoying movies on the big screen. One underrated thing that I guess not a lot of people talk about is having assigned seats.
Yeah.
As someone who's chronically late, and as also someone, this might be a hot take, as someone who hates trailers, I don't give a fuck about trailers.
All right.
When you have a 7:45 p.m. start time and you can show up at 8:05 and then the movie's like about to start and you have your seat that reclines, I was like, all right, I see these guys.
They got it right.
I see the money moves being made in the theaters, so I can see the merit behind it. So shout out to movie theaters. AMC, sponsor this podcast. I said y'all's name twice. I shouldn't have done that.
I have called out your popcorn, by the way. I have called out your popcorn.
Yeah. You have? All right, fuck the popcorn, by the way.
Yeah, their popcorn stinks. They put
we're not too chummy around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too chummy with them.
Cut the check, and all of a sudden it's my favorite popcorn. You already know.
Yeah, butter will be delicious at that.
Curious, what is this like Oscar season movies that you're interested in? Any
not necessarily, but we saw Saltburn. We saw Dream Scenario. We're seeing Wonka in a couple days, and we saw Poor Things. So that's what we've seen so far.
Poor Things is on a lot of lists so far, like preemptively.
And Napoleon is on there. We still haven't got around to that, and we're trying to see that Godzilla -1 as well.
Got you. Poor Things getting a lot of Oscar buzz. We just watched. It's on Netflix for you number one podcast listeners, but December.
Just watched that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's loosely based on a true story. Kind of wild. Kind of takes you all over the place. Very, very good acting by Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. So I really enjoyed that movie. We'll see. I think it's kind of like borderline odds for making the Best Picture nomination list. So we'll see. That comes out later, the beginning of the year. But few indicators because some of the Golden Globe nominations have come out and all that. So our list begins. My wife and I have to find other ways to see them. We used to go to the movies all the time, but it's the one thing with kids, can't do it anymore.
We'll get to respectfully pirating movies. Respectfully, I say.
Yeah, right. Hit those streams so I don't have to do what I got to do. You heard? Anyway, okay. So that's great. What you feeling? I was not anticipating you going back to the movies, but love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Well, you know, there's not a lot of concerts going on right now. It's the winter, so got to keep ourselves busy somehow. You know, we like to enjoy media, so.
Hell yeah, love it. Okay, you know, I'm on podcast listeners. You know how we like to end each episode. It is time for Too Much Sense. Let's hit that intro. All right, number one podcast listeners. My Too Much Sense for this episode is about appreciation. 'Tis the season for that. A reminder. Appreciating someone is legitimately one of the easiest things one can do for someone else. If you find yourself underappreciated or you're the one doing the underappreciating, check yourself. It takes no time to tell someone you appreciate their effort. And think about how good it feels when you get the appreciation. To be able to give that to someone takes no time and makes them feel good. This is the end of the year. Make sure you got coworkers, you got people that report to you. Make sure they know they're appreciated by you. It goes a long way to starting that new year off the right way. Get that good karma coming your way. So that's my Too Much Sense for this.
Love it. 'Tis the season, bitch. Let's do that callback.
'Tis the season, bitches. Yes, sir.
Let's do that callback.
Love it. Love it. A+ work.
Yeah.
All right, you number one podcast listeners. That does it for another brand new edition of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee.
Yes,
I've been your host,
sir.
Premal Bhatt. It's been my big bro, Rosh.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all for your support over this past year. You know, if you follow me on social media, which if you aren't already, please do see the episode description if you want to know how to do all those. But I posted my Spotify Wrapped as a podcast. It never ceases to amaze me to see the growth of this podcast and people that support it. So, you know, speaking of appreciating you number one podcast listeners, I sure as hell do. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your listens, your shares, word of mouth, telling a friend to tell a friend. It is so greatly appreciated. Makes me feel good and makes this all worth it. So I do appreciate you all and all the support over this past year. More to come in 2024, but hope you enjoy this edition over the holidays and get time with family or friends, or maybe you prefer to be by yourself, and that's great too. So you number one podcast listeners, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to another brand new episode of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee, and we'll talk to you next time.
We will. See you later.
Peace.